This is the video for 7.1 parabolas. So before we do anything else, let's make a reminder, or let's remind you of the conics that you did last year. So if I take a cone and I slice it horizontally, or if you take a double napped cone, which just means two cones right on top of each other, and cut it horizontally, you're going to get a circle out of the cross section. If you cut it diagonally, cut one cone diagonally, you're going to get an ellipse. So here's the ellipse. If you cut the if you cut the cone through the base of the cone, since the base is flat, you're going to get a parabola. Now for a hyperbola, you really do need the double nap cone. The others, you just need one cone to get the shape. A hyperbola, you're basically taking a double nap cone, which is just two cones on top of each other, and you're cutting it vertically. So that means the top hyperbola shape and the bottom hyperbola shape will be the same because you're cutting them vertically, but you need two cones to do that. Okay, so here are our graphs. So if your graph opens up or down, your basic equation is going to be y equals x squared. So if you forget about the 4py or the 4p, k, and the h, and just look at the basic y equals x squared, that's what you're used to on the calculator. And let's label a couple things. Let me change colors. Your p is your distance from your vertex to your focus, and your vertex to your directrix. Same distance p. So that's my vertex. It's the same on both. The only difference is your p will be negative on the one that's flipped upside down. Then this is your focus. And then the blue line is your directrix. The line down the middle is your axis of symmetry. Okay. The other thing that you need to know is the distance that you make, how wide it is. This length right here is called the latus rectum. And the length of that is 4p. So whatever p is, that length across your focus is going to be 4p. This is your latus rectum. And the length is 4p. Okay, this is the same graph as the one on the page before. We just turned them sideways. So now your basic equation is x equals y squared. So when the y is squared, it opens left and right. If your p is negative, it's going to open left. So we're going to label everything again. So this is our latus rectum. It's equal to 4p. It's the same as the page before. This is our directrix. So this is our vertex. This is our focus. Vertex, focus, and this is our axis of symmetry. That goes through the center. Okay. Number 1, y plus 5 squared equals 12 times x minus 2. So the first thing I want to find is my vertex. You're going to take that from your x and from your y and do opposite. If this says x minus 2, that's going to be 2. If this says y plus 5, then it will be negative 5. And so we've got the point 2, negative 5. that is going to give us a vertex. To get our focus, you're going to take the negative 12 and you're going to set it equal to 4p. That's all the time to get our focus. So negative 3. And since this is an x equals y squared open left or right. And since this is a negative 3, it's going to open left. So I'm going to go 3 to the left to my focus, 3 to the right to draw in my directrix. Let me make my pen thicker for the directrix. Okay, so my focus is at, let me change my pen width, -1, -5. The directrix is a vertical line that's at x equals 5. Then I need to know how wide to make it. So my length through my focus is 4p. So basically whatever this number is before you divide it by 4 is how wide it's going to be. So if it needs to be 12 wide, then I need to go 6 each way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me make my pen thicker. Let me change my color, make it brown. So through the focus, my lattice rectum is a length of 12. Oops, that should hit that point there. So this length of 12, I need to be able to see. And then my axis of symmetry goes through my vertex and my focus. That's a horizontal line, so that's y equals -5. Number 2. So this is x minus 3 squared equals -10 times y plus 2. So my vertex comes from my x and my y is 3, -2. So 3, -2. Let's change colors. My focus, I'm going to take the -10, set equal to 4p. So p equals -10 over 4, which is -5 which is -2.5. So I'm going to go 2.5 each way. And since this is a y equals x squared, it opens up or down. Since it's negative, it's going to open down. We're going to go down 2.5 and up 2.5. So I'm going to be in the middle here, 2.5. So if I was at 3, -2, and I went down 2.5, that's going to take me to a focus of 3, -4.5. If I was at 3, -2, and I went up 2.5, that means my directrix is at y equals 1/2 or 0.5. And then my length through my focus is going to be my 10. So I should have 10 through my focus. So it means I need to go 5 each way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me erase the other little ones now. So now I know how wide or how skinny to make it. And then my axis of symmetry goes down the middle through my vertex. So that's going to be x equals 3. Number 3. So now we have it in a form where it's not ready to graph. So we're going to have to complete the square. So your goal is to get, since you've got a y squared term, you're going to have to get the y's on one side, which means the minus 6y has to be moved over, and move the 21 over here, so that you have 20x minus 21 minus 68. You want to get all your squared terms. Since you have a y squared, you need to get all the y's on the left and everything else on the right, because we have to complete the square. That's going to give me y squared plus 6y equals 20x minus 89. So to complete the square, we're going to take, as long as there's no coefficient here, we're going to take the middle number, divided by 2, and square it. The number that's in front of y, that's 3 squared gives me 9. So I'm going to add 9 to the left, 9 to the right. That's going to give me y squared plus 6y plus 9 equals 20x. Negative 89 plus 9 is negative 80. Then I need to factor both sides. So that's going to give me y plus 3 squared equals 20 times x minus 4. This is ready to graph. So my vertex will be 4, negative 3. So 4, negative 3. My focus, I'm going to take the 20, set it equal to 4p, divide by 4. So I'm going to go 5, whichever way I have to go. Since this is an x equals y squared graph, that means I'm going to go left to right. And since it's a positive 5, I'm going to go right. So I'm going to go 5 right, 2, 3, 4, 5, to get to my focus. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my focus. 5 left to get to my directrix. So right now my focus is at 9, negative 3. The directrix is x equals negative 1. And then through the focus, I have to have a length of 20. So I have to go up 10 and down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So this is my graph. And then my axis of symmetry goes through the middle of my parabola, and that is at, okay, I started re-recording this, so this might be weird, but the equation for axis of symmetry is y equals negative 3.